Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television, live from Lagos and Abuja. A reminder of our top stories. CBN Governor appears before Senate Committee on Finance, asks NNPC to explain $20 billion unremitted funds. 2014 budget passes second reading in the Senate, but suffers setback in the House of Representatives. The National Council of States meets in Abuja. Former President Shagari, Generals Gawan, Babangida and Abdul Salami in attendance. And at least 6 people killed and 32 injured in blast outside Shia Mosque in Peshawar, Pakistan. Well, all our top stories and other programs can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. To get us on the move, visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Do take advantage of the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. If you have pictures or videos to share with us, tap on the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions to share your report, pictures and videos. The chairman of the Presidential Advisory Committee on the National Conference, Senator Femi Okunromu, has described the National Conference dialogue as bigger than any one individual and a tool to chart a new course for the nation's future. While urging critics of the conference to join hands and prepare Nigeria for the future, Senator Okunromu reaffirmed the president's commitment to ensuring the success of the dialogue.
We shouldn't always confine ourselves to thinking only of politicians as leaders. There are many people who have never been politicians, who have never been politics, who are eminent Nigerian statesmen and deserve to be considered as elder statesmen. If you look at the modalities, the politicians are very limited. For instance, the only category of politicians there is we say every political party should nominate 2 delegates. And we mentioned 5 political parties, be the political parties that have representatives in the National Assembly. Elder statesmen have said these are not necessarily politicians. The retired military, I'm sure you will agree that these were never politicians, but they are relevant. In any conference of Nigerians, they should be there because they provide security for all of us.
Well, let's join Gloria Umezuoke in Abuja as she reports. Hi, Gloria.
Well, thank you, Bimbo, and welcome to the nation's capital. When no fewer than 34 people, including 2 security operatives, have been killed and scores seriously injured following fresh attacks by suspected gunmen on Zangang Ataka village in Kaura local government of Kaduna State and Ganari community of Rayom local council in Plateau State. Eyewitnesses said the gunmen invaded the 2 border communities located on top of the hill at about 6 p.m. yesterday, shooting people and burning down houses. Kaura local government in particular has faced several attacks in the past 2 years. A retired military officer who is an indigene of Kaura told our correspondent that the 2 security operatives were killed during a shootout with the hoodlums. Although police authorities in both states are yet to give details of the casualties, the chairman of Kaura local government area, Mr. Kumai Bodu, told journalists that most of the casualties were Ataka indigenes living in Rayom in Plateau State. In the meantime, soldiers have been drafted to the villages to restore normalcy, while the injured ones have been taken to a hospital in Kafanchan in Kaduna State for treatment. Well, founder of global corruption think tank, Mo Ibrahim, has cautioned the international community against criticizing corruption in Africa without setting the right examples. In what he describes as the hypocrisy of Europe, which is currently losing billions of dollars annually to corruption, Mr. Ibrahim called for more prosecution for international corporate corruption. Our correspondent Doris Okenwa was at a global corruption meeting in London organized by the Royal Institute of International Affairs, Chatham House.
Corruption has been the bane of development in Nigeria and Africa as a whole, but it is in fact a global phenomenon. Take, for instance, the European Union's recent report on corruption, which reveals that corruption cost the EU economy 120 billion euros annually, almost the size of the entire European Union budget. Tax evasion and the use of bribery by international corporations to obtain contracts was the big elephant in the room.
The overwhelming majority of cases concluded to date have involved systemic corruption across international operations of major multinational enterprises. And this lies at the heart of the unprecedented crisis of trust that our countries are facing.
This calls for a tightening of major loopholes in public procurement controls to reduce diversion of public funds through effective legislation that actively criminalizes and prosecutes corruption.
Business have gone global, but government legislation and taxation policies, etc., still are in silos. And unfortunately, they're also competing with each other. And that creates massive loopholes and enable all these multinational companies, wonderful opportunity for what they call efficient tax planning. And it's a problem.
Prosecution remains the sharpest weapon against corruption, a difficult task, especially with elites involved. But former Kenyan government official John Githongo in 2005 set the stage for a transparent Africa by exposing grand-scale corruption in Kenya. A costly move, but was effective at the time.
At the end of the day, somebody has to take a stand. One also gets angry because everyone says, "Oh, but this you're African." And I've been asked that question. I've said, "Oh, but this is the way Africa is. Africans are thieves. Africans are corrupt. This is the way it is. When your tribe comes, your tribe eats."
But the hope for any meaningful change always comes down to the people and how they can galvanize their leaders into action.
The role of civil society is to mobilize this public anger into something that causes change at the local and the national level.
It's been a wake-up call to redefine the narratives and ideas around tackling corruption globally. As participants have highlighted, the need to change tactics, the need for more practical and workable policies, but most importantly, the need for a less hypocritical approach. Doris Okenwa, Channels Television News, London.
It appears the last is yet to be heard in the battle of supremacy between the All Progressives Congress and People's Democratic Party lawmakers in the National Assembly. The APC lawmakers have been challenged to ensure that the party comes out of the face-off victorious. A charge was given to the lawmakers at a late-night meeting with the leaders and some governors of the party. The governors and party leaders saluted the courage and determination of the lawmakers and encouraged them to continue to uphold the ideology of the party. State governors and leaders of the All Progressives Congress arriving at the National Assembly for a meeting with the party caucus and the House of Representatives. This is the first meeting between the caucus and the party leadership. It is coming at a time when it appears the party may be winning more lawmakers to its camp in the National Assembly.
We are now averaging and fluctuating between 172 and 174, and it keeps going back and forth. Nonetheless, I believe we maintain a very slim majority, and I believe that in the next 2 weeks, the real figures, the authentic figures, which will see us even widening the gap, will be made public.
Leaders of the party commended the lawmakers and saluted their courage in the face of the resistance being put up by the ruling party.
It is you, our members in the National Assembly, who will always look up to, to help the country stabilize.
Don't look at your personal interest. Look at the larger picture. Are we on a mission to rescue the country?
The governors were also not left out. They said the lawmakers should make sure they stand on the side of history.
Perhaps the most historic event that will happen if we persist, and the signs are there, is that an incumbent majority in the executive is imminently on the way to becoming a defeated minority.
Nasarawa State is facing a serious onslaught from Abuja. They are using all kinds of primordial sentiments, are using tremendous amount of money to tantalize and deceive some of our members.
I share your sentiments of we're properly briefed of all the efforts to get you to buy you, but you can't be crayfish.
The party says it will commence party registration across the country on Wednesday. This, it says, will commence its drive to bring change to the country. Well, the Kano State House of Assembly has effected a change in its leadership following the mass defection of the lawmakers to the All Progressives Congress from the People's Democratic Party. But during plenary today, the House nominated and swore in Mr. Isiaku Danja of the APC as the new Speaker of the State House of Assembly. Well, this is coming after Mr. Gambo Salau stepped down to lead the People's Democratic Party (PDP) minority in the Assembly.
27 out of the 31 PDP lawmakers in Kano State have defected to the All Progressives Congress in solidarity to Governor Kwakunso, who has been in the party since last year. 24 hours after their defection, the Speaker of the House, Honorable Gambo Salau, who refused to join the APC, stepped down from the seat of the Speaker. At the plenary session, Honorable Abdul Hamid Abdul nominated the Deputy Speaker, Isiaku Ali Danja, to lead the House, the nomination seconded by Honorable Labaran Abdul.
I, Honorable Isiaku Ali Danja, do solemnly.
After taking the oath of office, the new APC Speaker presided over the nomination of his deputy, during which the House Majority Leader Hamisu Ibrahim emerged with Kabiru Alassan as the new Majority Leader. Meanwhile, the argument in Kanu is whether the lawmakers were influenced by the power of the executives or their constituents.
The only person who can ask me this kind of question is the people of my constituency, which I inform you that I have made a series of consultation, and that is the result of the consultation. None of us out of these 40 members was forced to defect to APC. Our governor met with us several times. He discussed with us anybody who has an interest to join him in APC is welcome. And anybody who doesn't want to join is also welcome, and he wants to live with him in harmony.
While the remaining 4 PDP members could not attend the session for comments, the people of Kano State are now left with various emotions, waiting to discover how the entire scenario will play out in the future.
Well, that's it from the nation's capital. It's back to you, Bimbo, in Lagos.
Thank you very much, Gloria. Well, when the news at 10 returns, it's World Cancer Day today, and we'll examine efforts at checking it in Nigeria. So do join us.